here's Bedford's power supply portfolio. At the top and going clockwise, the hydros, these are all local hydros, the solar, these are all renewable assets that are located here in the community. And then we've got it's labeled 2025 monthly. Those are power purchases or contract purchases for, we do things monthly depending on season, winter, summer. And then net market, so about 2.5% of it is in the market. And then SEPA is, that's another hydro resource federally allocated to Virginia members. And then we have the Fremont Energy Center, the acronym there is AFEC, that's the red, that's the combined cycle plant. So about a little over 25% of the town's power supply comes from that resource. And then Prairie State, which is the Mine Mouth coal plant that I mentioned earlier, about a third of the power supply. Again, well-balanced, diverse portfolio. Ownership of these varying types of generation assets, hedge the risk against fuel prices, volatility around that, energy, capacity markets. Renewable resources promote low-cost energy. Again, solar is very low-cost energy, and sustainability. And then power purchase agreements, so those slices along that provides flexibility as load and market conditions change.
In February, we had about 3 weeks of weather where we did not go above freezing. And that's when we peaked, and that's when AEP, Appalachian Power peaked, and that established our transmission costs. Big supporter and advocate of renewables. They do produce generally low-cost energy, but they don't really produce any capacity. So that's another reason why we are vulnerable to those capacity charges. We continue to reduce the cost as best we can, and all the tools we have in our toolbox to do that. The main one is behind the meter generation. We're looking at siting more solar facilities here in town, and that's where we get the biggest bang for the buck. Seeing growth here locally, you know, with the amount of residential development we're seeing, we could have 500 to 1,000 new homes here in Bedford in 2 years, which is a tremendous amount of growth for us. The expansion of the hydro plant will give us more hydro energy. In addition to that, we are studying the possibility of putting solar panels up along the river on our property. That's one thing. We are also studying the possibility of locating solar facilities on 2 closed landfills here in town. And the third thing is we're working with AMP actually to add more peaking generation down on Orange Street. Once we started getting more harsh winters and colder temperatures, that pushed our cost up to minimize the cost that we have to pay and therefore keep the rates as low as possible.